I'm Trisha Bear from the Culinary Command Post, and today we're going to show you how to make no-bake strawberry cream cheese or strawberry cheesecake. And basically it just has a few ingredients in it. So we're going to make our own crust. You can buy a store graham cracker crust, but basically the homemade graham cracker crust is basically just cooking spray to spray your pan, melted butter, and then also the graham crackers crushed up. That's all it is. So if you got time to make your own, I'd go ahead and make your own. So I'm just lightly spraying the bottom of this springform pan. And then I'm going to put the melted butter into the graham crackers. And I used about 3 cups of graham crackers and a half a cup of butter. And then you're going to mix it up. And then you're going to press it level with the bottom in the spring foam pan. Just make sure all the butter's mixed in with the graham crackers. And that's it, and all you have to do is pour it into the bottom of the springform pan, and that makes your crust. And it tastes a lot better than the store-bought ones. Okay. Press it down. Some people like a thicker crust, so I like about a 1/2 inch thick crust. And once the cheesecake has been done, it's set in the refrigerator for a couple hours, then we can take the spring foam pan lining off around the sides, and it's much easier to cut. And it looks nicer too. So just press your crushed graham crackers and your butter into the pan. And you can use as much crust as you want, so we do have a little extra. And you can use this probably to make another pie or dessert. And that's it. So it's basically flattened in the bottom of the pan after I sprayed it. So you need to use softened cream cheese, which we're going to use 2 blocks for this recipe, 2 8-ounce blocks on the cream cheese. And we're going to put it in a mixer. You can use a paddle attachment if you have it. Either way, the whisk or the paddle works fine. So it's softened enough so it's going to mix easier. And that's 2 8-ounce blocks of softened cream cheese. If you didn't leave it out at room temperature long enough, then just put it in the microwave for about 20 to 30 seconds. So we're going to mix that up with the powdered sugar that's sifted. Make it a little messier. Let's do this. Okay, so you're going to mix that on low so the powder doesn't go everywhere. You'll have to stop it and scrape the powdered sugar on the side of the bowl. So it's all incorporated with the cream cheese. Okay, now I've got most of the powdered sugar mixed in with the cream cheese, so now I can put it on medium. Okay, and then now I'm going to add my 1 3/4 cup of heavy cream. And then we're going to add our tablespoon of lemon juice. And then our vanilla, about a tablespoon of vanilla. And let that mix up. And we're also going to have a strawberry topping to go on our cream cheese. You don't have to put that on there, but if you do, it's super easy. We're going to show you how to make that part of it on the stove, but otherwise this is a no-bake cheesecake, strawberry cheesecake. Mix those ingredients. All right, I'm going to scrape down the side of the bowl one more time. Now I'm going to put it on medium so that I can make sure that cream cheese is mixed up with everything else. Okay, everything is mixed in. We're going to pour it into the graham cracker pie shell. And we got to remember to keep room for the strawberry topping that we're going to put on it. And this recipe makes one cream cheese, or one, I should say, strawberry cheesecake. It makes one actual cake. So if you want two, you just double the recipe. The graham cracker part of it, it could probably made two different cheesecakes. So the only thing you need to double on this recipe is the filling to it, the cream cheese filling. Other than that, it almost makes two with the graham crackers. You're going to smooth it out, level it off, and then we're going to start our strawberry sauce that goes on top. And it tastes just like the New York one that's baked in the oven for hours. You don't have to do that for hours because it tastes almost just as good as that. And this recipe is my cousin Brad Tucker's recipe out of Kenta. So if you have any recipes that you want me to teach, I'd be glad to get those. My email is ladymarine100@yahoo.com. Just make sure it goes all the way to the sides and it's level. And once we get done with the strawberry topping, once it cools, then we're going to just pour it on top and let it set in the fridge for about 2 hours. Just trying to make sure it's level. Okay, while that's cooking, now I'm going to go over here and we're going to do the strawberry sauce that's going to go on top of it. All right. So I've got a saucepan that's thick saucepan. We're going to turn it on medium-low. And then we're going to put in all of our ingredients. So basically it's going to be 3 cups of your chopped strawberries that I've already washed. And then we're going to add in our lemon juice, our vanilla, which is 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and our 1 cup of sugar. All right, and basically all we have to do is heat it up till it's boiling, and once it gets thick enough, then you know that it's done. And then we're going to add, this is very important, you want to make sure you add your cornstarch, which is 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. You want to add this because this is what thickens your sauce. So don't forget your cornstarch. Okay, so that's heating up, and I'm going to go ahead and pour in the cornstarch. And it only takes a few minutes on the stove cooking the strawberries for it to make the sauce. So that's homemade sauce. It tastes way better than the store-bought one, and it's super easy to make. I'm just going to stir it up. And as the strawberries cook, they're going to actually make juice. It'll turn into juice. And that'll be our strawberry topping for our cheesecake. Yeah, as the sugar melts with the strawberry juice, then that's going to make your topping really good. Use a spoon to stir them, just because the whisk doesn't work as good because it's going to get strawberry stuck in your whisk. So use a spoon on stirring it. Yep, it's already making sauce now. That's it. The key to part of this recipe is don't forget the cornstarch, because it's not going to be thick if you don't. Alright, we'll let that cook for a few minutes. As you can see, it's already starting to make the sauce. And if you wanted to add more sauce to it, you could add a little water, but it's still going to thicken up and make more sauce. So just let it cook on the stove. We're going to cook it on the stove on medium heat. And then once it gets done, we're going to cool it for a few minutes before we put it on our cheesecake. Now the strawberries are starting to boil. If it's thick, it'll be done. Just takes a few minutes, and as you can see, there's a lot of, it's already making a ton of juice just with that few minutes. if you haven't already turned in your essay for the VFW essay competition, it's due October 31st. And there's one for 9th through 8th graders, which is Voice of Democracy, and there's one for 6th through 8th graders, that's the Patriot Pen. And the audio essay is for the Voice of Democracy, and that's where you turn in an audio essay of you reading the essay that you wrote. So the Patriot Pen, there is no audio essay, it's just the typed essay. But you can win up to $5,000 on Patriot Pen for the VFW, and then you can also win up to $35,000 college scholarships for the Voice of Democracy. But you also win money at 4 different levels. So you can win money at post level, which is Henrietta, District 7 level, which is 5 towns in this area, and then state level. Get in Okmulgee, who won $1,200 for his essay, and he won all the way up to the state level, not the national, the state level, and he still won $1,250 for his essay. Also on Voice of Democracy, they'll pay for the state winner of Oklahoma. They'll pay for that kid to fly to Washington, D.C. for the VFW convention, and that's where they get awarded their prize. We had someone from Oklahoma win 4th or 5th place a few years ago, and he ended up getting $4,000 for his essay because he was 4th or 5th place. So there's a lot of money that you can win doing the essays. If you're interested in turning in the essay, please call me at 479-414-0952, and I'll meet you somewhere to get your kid's essay. Okay, now the sauce is starting to thicken up. You can see the color change, and the strawberries are soft. We'll let it cool just a couple minutes, and then we're going to add it to our cheesecake. And I am going to try a little bit of this cheesecake mixture, make sure it tastes okay. Yeah, tastes fine. Tastes just like the New York cheesecake that we made at OSUIT, but it don't take 2.5 hours. It only takes maybe 15 minutes to make it. So as soon as this cools down a minute, we're going to add our sauce to our cream cheese mixture, and then we're going to put it in the refrigerator for a couple hours to set. And that's how easy making cheesecake is. It's super easy. Okay, so the cheesecake has rested for about 10 minutes, and we just got our strawberry sauce done on the stove. We let it cool down, so then all we have to do is pour it on top of our cheesecake. And again, I'm using the springform pan. If you don't have one, I'd highly recommend you get one because it's a lot easier to cut it when it's done. So once it's set, I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for a couple hours, and then it's going to set for a couple hours, and then it'll be ready to serve. Once it's set in there a couple hours, then I'm going to remove the springform pan. You'll see what I'm talking about. You just want to level off the strawberries, and then you can put it in the fridge for a couple hours. And it's delicious. Put it in the fridge. And that's it. That's how you make strawberry cheesecake in 20 minutes. Literally. It takes a while to sit in the fridge, but to put it all together doesn't take very long at all, maybe 20 minutes. Thank you for watching.